Hey, how's it going, everybody? Okay, so what we're going to do today is go over how to install the new Portal app. As some of you may have known by now, there's been a couple security issues, so they had to release a new version. The latest version is now 17.3. I had to go through it and modify it so it's used for what we use for the box. Now, before we get started, I want to cut over to another video and show you the differences between the different builds that we have, because there's two different versions, and depending upon what box you have, you use a specific version. So let's cut this one off. We'll go to the other video and we'll come back. I just want to clarify a couple things. This box here is the newest box that we have out. This has been out since December of 2016. And this box is Android 6.0. So when you go in and get the builds, there's going to be four different builds. There's going to be, version 1 of the regular build. The spicy build has adult add-ons on it. Then version 2, the regular build and spicy add-ons, is for the older boxes, which is Android 5.1. So this box here has a metal case, has an antenna on it, and it has the circle for the reception for the remote. If you try to use the first version builds on the older boxes, as soon as you open up the portal, it's going to close right away, and it'll be almost impossible to open it up. That's because of the skin. The skin that we use on the first version has a little more variations to it, so I can make it a little more flashy. Still the exact same add-ons for version 1 or version 2. So just to clarify that, so there's no confusion about this box right here is Android 6.0. It's metal case, the antenna, the circle right there, the bottom right-hand corner. If you have any of the older boxes, which still work great, version 2 is the one that you want to use for the builds. Okay, so now that we talked about the different versions of the boxes, one more thing I do want to add is that if you have the older first generation box that we use, which had the blue triangle light in the front of it, this app will not work on it at all. It's only for Android version 5.1 and above. So the very first generation boxes had Android 4.4, so that's why they won't work. Anyway, so let's get started here. Make sure first that you have your internet connected. Go down to apps, which is right here, click on it. And if you have the old BBP app still on the box, or if you have the newer Portal app, same thing here. Click and hold the OK button over it. Click on App Info and click on Uninstall, and then click on OK. Okay, we're going to scroll up, and once again, we're using Dropbox for this. If you don't have Dropbox, you can get it through Aptoide or the Google Play Store. Either way, you need this for this to work. So click on Dropbox, and we're going to make it like you don't have this thing set up at all. We used to have a different version of Dropbox. We did update it a little bit, so it is a different email address. So click on Sign In. The email is blkbox@yahoo.com. blkbox@yahoo.com. Password is capital B, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here, Portal 17.3. And when you click on it, it will automatically download it for you. And click on Install. click on, okay, never mind. For now, click on Done and back out to the main menu. Okay, so once we have installed, the portal may or may not be linked up to this tile. If it says under empty tile, which is totally fine, click back on the app section, scroll down to the portal, click and hold the OK button over it, click Add App to Tile or Quick Launch, and click on Cinema. So if you clicked on the portal and it went right to the app, that's great. If it said empty tile, just follow that little instructions that it gave you and click on the portal. Now I just went in there, usually it says first run. I just tested it out for a minute. So from here, click on add-ons, click on my add-ons, click on program add-ons, and then click on Blackbox add-on restore, click on enable, and click on open. Okay, now, like we talked about before, there's 4 different builds. They're exactly the same for these two and for these two, except for the skin that we use. For whatever reason, and this is nothing that I do, the skin that we use, which is really customizable, and these two works really well for Android 6.0. Android 5.1 does not work at all. So we use a different skin for these two right here. Okay, so once again, if you had the metal box that was sold starting late December of 2016, you can actually use any one of these if you wanted to. These two are probably a little more flashy, but they both have the exact same builds between these two and these two here. The difference between this one and this one is this has all the add-ons. This is all the add-ons plus adult add-ons. So if you don't want these, obviously don't click on the spicy box. If you want the black box one, that's fine. Anyway, if you have the older versions, click on V2, these two right here. So we'll click on this one here. It's going to say downloading your new build. You'll see this line go across the screen. And then it'll come back, do it a second time. It'll say extracting up here, which means it's actually installing the build. Once it's done installing the build, you'll see the instructions on here, which will come back here just a moment and show you the instructions. Okay, so when it says download complete, which means it's totally installed, so let's go over the instructions for a moment here. Ensure all changes are saved. You must, number 1, do not touch your remote. Put your remote down. Number 2, unplug the power supply from the black box behind it while everything is still running. So don't click on OK, don't X out properly, just basically just pull the plug from the back, wait 10 seconds, plug the power supply back in, and then we'll come back. Okay, so once the box is rebooted, let's go back into the portal. So a couple things will pop up in the very beginning. Since this app is more advanced than the previous apps, it tends to take a little bit longer to load up. When that happens, probably 99% of the time it'll pop up here. Of course, it probably won't do it this time. You'll say the portal app is taking too long. Do you want to wait, or click on OK? If that pops up, always click on wait. If you click on OK, it'll close the app. This is the other thing that's going to pop up in the very first time you use it. And if you read this right here, basically talks about the security issues that were occurring. And of course, we're using now 17.3. 17.2 came out. I modified this. The next day they came out with 17.3. And then I had to modify this one. So now this is what we're using here. So this pops up here. Click on dismiss. Okay, so Auto Cleaner. This is an app or an add-on that's now built into the box or built to this build. This will clean out the cache every time you turn on this app, which is super nice. So when this pops up here, click on yes, then click on OK.
Okay, so now this is once again for Android 6.0 with the newer box. As you can see, it's very flashy because every time you change the add-ons, you'll get a new picture background. Now this can be done with the other version as well. We do have a video which shows you how to do that. Real simple to do. Anyway, these have all been tested. When I made the build a few days ago, these all worked. That's why I put them on there. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, a couple quick things I want to talk about here. I found this out by accident. If you have the newer boxes, you really don't have to use the power button anymore. When I say that is because it works better on the newer boxes, which has this build, if you just press the home button. So watch this. Home button, go back in the portal. Pops right up. Home button, go back in portal. Pops right up. Home button, portal. Okay. Super simple to use. If you use this right here, it may take longer. Once in a great while, it may lock up on you. If you go into this app in the beginning, just press the home button, go back in the portal, and it's right there for you right away. Super simple to use, clean and easy. If you have the version 2 and you click on the home button and go back into it, it'll always boot up where it says the portal again when you first go into the first time. With Android 6.0, it's a different process. I don't know how it works. I just know how to use it. Anyway, so let's click on the power button here. Click on exit. That is technically the proper way of doing it, but of course we V2 builds, the ones for the older boxes. Rather than clicking on the power button here and then click on exit, on one of the categories you have power, and below the power you have the quit button, okay, down below. That's what you'd use to exit properly out of there. You still can use the home button trick and it shouldn't mess things up. Now, as you see here, it's taking a little bit longer than usual to exit out. And that could be from the new app they're using, could be from the build with all the add-ons they have in there. I don't know. What I do know is if you press the home button and try to go into this, it usually doesn't work anymore. And what happens is now nothing activates. Okay, not sure why. This is why I found the whole home button thing. Anyway, what I want to do now is if this ever happens to your box, all you want to do is power it off or pull the plug behind it, plug it back in. I'll show you a quick way to reset this stuff. Okay, so now we're working again. If we go back into this, it'll be a black screen, not too much going on. So this is how we reset this app. Go into apps, scroll down to the very bottom, find Portal 17.3, and this is going to work for any box that we have out, any version we have out, whether it's Android 6.0 or 5.1. Click and hold the OK button, click on App Info. From here, click on Force Stop, click on OK, click on Storage. Now, if you have Android 6.0, the Clear Cache and Clear Data button will not be available in the front screen. You have to click on Storage. From here, click on Clear Cache. If you click on Clear Data, it's going to wipe out that build and you got to re-download it again. Once this goes down to 12 kilobytes, back out to the main menu, go to the Portal app again, preparing for first run. I'm actually glad that things are happening the way they are so you can see exactly in real time how, well, my real time, how we fix this stuff. Because these apps are very, there's a lot of stuff in them, so therefore the more advanced the apps are, the more issues you can have with it potentially. But there you go. Once again, app works great. And if you ever have any kind of issues to where it locks up, you get a black screen, what I showed you where nothing was working, easiest way of doing it is power off the box, unplug it from the back, plug it back in, and then go back into apps, app info, and then force stop, clear cache, and then you're back to normal again. So once again, apps work very well in here, or add-ons work very well. Anyway, hope this helps you out a lot. Hopefully there's no more versions of the Portal app because it eats up a lot of my time making these things again. Anyway, these builds are brand new. I just put them out. Enjoy them. Have a good day.